Welcome everybody to Mindful Monday. We do about 10 minutes of EFT tapping. Today we will be tapping on trusting yourself and self-trust. And then we do a 10-minute mindful activity. Today we are doing gratitude. And then after that we do 10 minutes of reading. Well, I do the reading, you do the listening. We are reading The Power of Now. So if you are all set and ready to go ahead and start tapping on your karate chop points. And you can repeat these affirmations after me as you tap along. Again, we are tapping on self-trust and trusting yourself. Even though I don't feel like I can trust myself right now, I choose to show respect and compassion to myself. I am open and willing to trust myself wholeheartedly. So I choose to completely love and accept myself. As well as anyone else connected to this. All this self-doubt, all this fear of trusting myself, every time I have trusted myself before, something has gone wrong. So how can I ever possibly trust myself? Whatever I am feeling is valid. It is easy for me to allow my emotions without judgment. So I allow myself to process them all now. The truth is, I can trust myself. And trusting myself is extremely important. Because when I trust myself, magic happens. I am connected with myself and my intuition. I know I am a trustworthy person. And I know I am worthy of trusting myself. I know what is best for me in every moment. and my self-trust is always rewarded. I trust that all is well and that I am safe. It is so easy for me to trust my judgment in every moment. In fact, I am deeply grounded in self-trust. I can feel the trust for myself growing with each moment. I trust that every choice I make is leading me where I want to be. So I choose to deeply trust myself in every way. I trust I can do anything I set my mind to. I trust that I am capable of making positive change in my life. I trust in my ability to take care of myself emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I trust my ability to go with the flow of life. I trust in all my abilities. I remember when trusting myself felt so hard. But now trusting myself is the easiest thing for me to do. Trusting myself is my superpower. And I trust myself more and more with every breath I take. And I now know and feel the truth of this all. Mind, body, and soul. And then go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if you have water nearby, grab a drink of water. We're gonna switch gears now. We're gonna do 10 minutes of gratitude. We're gonna write down 5 things that we're grateful for right now. It can be anything. And then you're also going to write 5 things that are yet to come that you are grateful for. And that might not take, writing the 5 things may not take, oh, thank you for the heart me. Those things, the 10 things total may not take the full 10 minutes. So what you can do after that is continue to rewrite the 5 things that you are grateful for that are yet to come as if they are happening or happened now or already happened or whatnot. I'm going to turn on some music, flip the camera, and we will do a little 10 minutes of gratitude. All right, onward with the power of now. Picking up where we left off. If you call some emotions negative, aren't you creating a mental polarity of good and bad as you explained earlier? No, the polarity was created at an earlier stage when your mind judged the present moment as bad. This judgment then created the negative emotion. But if you call some emotions negative, aren't you really saying that they shouldn't be there? That it's not okay to have those emotions? My understanding is that we should give ourselves permission to have whatever feelings come up, rather than judge them as bad or say that we shouldn't have them. It's okay to feel resentful. It's okay to be angry, irritated, moody, or whatever. Otherwise, we get into repression, inner conflict, or denial. Everything is okay as it is. Of course, once a mind pattern, an emotion, or a reaction is there, accept it. You were not conscious enough to have a choice in that matter. That's not a judgment, just a fact. If you had a choice or realized that you do have a choice, would you choose suffering or joy, ease or unease, peace or conflict? Would you choose a thought or feeling that cuts you off from your natural state of well-being, the joy of life within? And any such feeling I call negative, which simply means bad. Not in the sense that you shouldn't have done that, but just plain factual bad, like feeling sick in the stomach. How is it possible that humans killed in excess of 100 million fellow humans in the 20th century alone? Humans inflicting pain of such magnitude on one another is beyond anything you can imagine. And that's not taking into account the mental, emotional, and physical violence, the torture, pain, and cruelty they continue to inflict on each other, as well as on other sentient beings on a daily basis. Do they act in this way because they are in touch with their natural state, the joy of life within? Of course not. Only people who are in a deeply negative state, who feel very bad indeed, would create such a reality as a reflection of how they feel. Now they are engaged in destroying nature and the planet that sustains them. Unbelievable, but true. Humans are a dangerously insane and very sick species. That's not a judgment, it's a fact. It is also a fact that the sanity is there underneath the madness. Healing and redemption are available right now. Coming back specifically to what you said, it is certainly true that when you accept your resentment, moodiness, anger, and so on, you are no longer forced to act them out blindly, and you are less likely to project them onto others. But I wonder if you are not deceiving yourself. When you have been practicing acceptance for a while, as you have, there comes a point when you need to go on to the next stage, where those negative emotions are not created anymore. If you don't, your acceptance just becomes a mental label that allows your ego to continue to indulge in unhappiness and so strengthen its sense of separation from other people, your surroundings, your here and now. As you know, separation is the basis for the ego's sense of identity. True acceptance would transmute those feelings at once. And if you really knew deeply that everything is okay, as you put it, and which of course is true, then would you have those negative feelings in the first place? Without judgment, without resistance to what is, they would not arise. You have an idea in your mind that everything is okay, but deep down you don't really believe it. And so the old mental emotional patterns of resistance are still in place. That's what makes you feel bad. That's okay too. Are you defending your right to be unconscious, your right to suffer? Don't worry, nobody is going to take that away from you. Once you realize that a certain kind of food makes you sick, would you carry on eating that food and keep asserting that it is okay to be sick? Wherever you are, be there totally. Can you give some more examples of ordinary unconsciousness? See if you can catch yourself complaining in either speech or thought about a situation you find yourself in, what other people do or say, your surroundings, your life situation, even the weather. To complain is always non-acceptance of what is. It invariably carries an unconscious negative charge. When you complain, you make yourself into a victim. When you speak out, you are in your power. So change the situation by taking action or by speaking out if necessary or possible. Leave the situation or accept it. All else is madness. Ordinary unconsciousness is always linked in some way with denial of the now. The now, of course, also implies the here. Are you resisting your here and now? Some people would always rather be somewhere else. Their here is never good enough. Through self-observation, find out if that is the case in your life. Wherever you are, be there totally. If you find your here and now intolerable and it makes you unhappy, you have 3 options. Remove yourself from the situation, change it, or accept it totally. If you want to take responsibility for your life, you must choose one of those 3 options, and you must choose now. Then accept the consequences. No excuses, no negativity, no psychic pollution. Keep your inner space clear. If you take any action, leaving or changing your situation, drop the negativity first, if at all possible. Action arising out of insight into what is required is more effective than action arising out of negativity. Any action is often better than no action, especially if you have been stuck in an unhappy situation for a long time. If it is a mistake, at least you learn something, in which case it's no longer a mistake. If you remain stuck, you learn nothing. Is fear preventing you from taking action? Acknowledge the fear, watch it, take your attention into it, be fully present with it. Doing so cuts the link between the fear and your thinking. Don't let the fear rise up into your mind. Use the power of the now. Fear cannot prevail against it. If there is truly nothing that you can do to change your here and now, and you can't remove yourself from the situation, then accept your here and now totally by dropping all inner resistance. The false, unhappy self that loves feeling miserable, resentful, or sorry for itself can then no longer survive. This is called surrender. Surrender is not weakness. There is great strength in it. Only a surrendered person has spiritual power. Through surrender, you will be free internally of the situation. You may then find that the situation changes without any effort on your part. In any case, you are free. Or is there something that you should be doing but are not doing it? Get up and do it now. Alternatively, completely accept your inactivity, laziness, or passivity at this moment, if that is your choice. Go into it fully. Enjoy it. Be as lazy or inactive as you can. If you go into it fully and consciously, you will soon come out of it. Or maybe you won't. Either way, there is no inner conflict, no resistance, no negativity. Are you stressed? Are you so busy getting to the future that the present is reduced to a means of getting there? Stress is caused by being here but wanting to be there, or being in the present but wanting to be in the future. It's a split that tears you apart inside. To create and live with such an inner split is insane. The fact that everyone else is doing it doesn't make it any less insane. If you have to, you can move fast, work fast, or even run without projecting yourself into the future and without resisting the present. As you move, work, run, do it totally. Enjoy the flow of energy, the high energy of that moment. Now you are no longer stressed, no longer splitting yourself in two, just moving, running, working, and enjoying it. Or you can drop the whole thing and sit on a park bench. But when you do, watch your mind. It may say you should be working, you are wasting time. Observe the mind, smile at it. Does the past take up a great deal of your attention? Do you frequently talk and think about it, either positively or negatively? The great things that you have achieved, your adventures or experiences, or your victim story and the dreadful things that were done to you, or maybe what you did to someone else. Are your thought processes creating guilt, pride, resentment, anger, regret, or self-pity? Then you are not only reinforcing a false sense of self, but also helping to accelerate your body's aging process by creating an accumulation of your past in your psyche. Verify this for yourself by observing those around you who have a strong tendency to hold on to the past. Die to the past every moment. You don't need it. Only refer to it when it is absolutely relevant to the present. Feel the power of this moment and the fullness of being. Feel your presence. And that is where we will stop for today.